Hey, Dustin Martin, you've been big on this since 2021. You first told us on the show that you think the Gold Coast is a potential future home, and again in 2022. You're still with this next year. You still think the Gold Coast are a potential move on Dustin?
Well, he just can't be at Richmond next year. I mean, we know that. They should have found a way to move him on at the end of last year. He was keen at looking elsewhere. There were clubs that were coming with contracts for him.
That's a big call, though. Like one of your greatest ever, legend in the Hall of Fame one day, can't be at Richmond next year. Why?
Wouldn't change his legacy
I understand,
one
but
bit.
why can't he be? It's not as if he's playing poorly.
He's on $1.4 million, Kane.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same club that you've criticised for spending money on people like Taranto and Hopper, and they've got Dustin there on $1.4 million when they could have negotiated a trade to clear that salary cap.
They've known that, but the backlash to trading one of your greatest ever.
There is not one person at Richmond, there is not one Richmond supporter that would begrudge Dustin Martin finishing his career.
I know, but if you trade all of your picks out, and then you go, OK, we're in a bit of trouble here because we need to rebuild this list, and you go, OK, well, the only thing we can do is trade out a superstar player.
No, I'm with you. It looks bad now if they did it because it's mixed messaging. I'm just saying, going into next year, with him being the age that he is, on $1.4 million...
Is there a buyer?
Well, interesting with the... I mean, I think the Suns, I don't think he's a great choice for the Suns where they are and the players they've got coming through. But you can understand it from the AFL point of view, from a marketing sense, to try and get people. So I'm not sure the Suns and AFL would be necessarily aligned on this one. And it would need AFL money, probably.
I don't see, unless you're thinking he's going to help you win the flag, I don't see how another club takes him next season.
Even if Richmond paid a big portion of his wage, maybe?
Well, I don't think they're motivated to do that.
The Suns, I don't think, should take Dustin Martin. I don't think the Sydney Swans should take Dustin Martin. So I think he sees out his career at Richmond.
But Hutchie, like, you're a deal maker. You're a modern thinker in this sense. Like, his deal can be scrunched up like a piece of paper, right, and thrown in the bin. Gold Coast Suns give him, say, 3 years at $500,000, a tick over the average salary. So that gets him 1.5.
Well, he's going to play 2 more years to earn the same money. Yeah, what commercial world are you living in?
What do you mean?
You fair dinkum? Well,
3 years at $500,000
versus 1.4. That's 1.5 versus 1.4. If I said you're going to take you, we'll give you the same wage for over 3 years, but we need to turn up there every time Caro goes to Europe, you're not coming back.
It's a little bit different.
Give me a spell.
It's a little bit different that my career.
That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard.
It's a little bit different. Are you going to let me finish my sentence before you continue?
I don't think it's worth doing. Let's get to the Suns. The Suns are an interesting situation. They're 4-0 in Darwin, so they've built an unfair advantage there. The proof of the pudding will be in the eating from here, though.
It will. Let's look at what they've done in the back half of seasons in the last 5 or 6 years. Are they any different this year? Well, we're pleased with what they're doing, but can you trust them? So this is their history. So 4-6 last year when we thought they just won their 2 games in Darwin, 3-8 the year before. So they've matured and they've got another 40 games in play since then. But let's hold and let's wait on the Gold Coast Suns.
They might have won the Rankin deal as well, Hutchie. Bailey Humphrey looks a star.
He's signed for 6 years, which is a bold move from
the kid. And he was a pick 6, which they got for Rankin.
And Rankin's been very good as well, to be fair. That's why he shouldn't fear losing players, because something always rebounds.